Hi, my name is Kelly, and I am now 3 weeks post-surgery having my rotator cuff repaired. I had a full depth tear, so it was a pretty major one, a lot of reconstruction and that kind of yucky stuff. But one of the things I found was that I was completely unprepared for this surgery. And so I thought I'd do a little video on maybe some of the things that might make it a little bit easier for you, because I had no idea just how tough this was going to be. About 10 minutes before my surgery, they filled me in on a few things, which I was actually kind of shocked at. And then after the surgery, finding out all the limitations that I would have been rather shocking and upsetting. So if I can make it a little bit easier for you, that might help. You'll see me glance down at notes because I'm old and I forget everything. So the first thing is your pain management. You are going to be in a lot of pain. There's no way to get around it. It is a very tough surgery, and I was completely unprepared for the amount of pain I was in. Now I'm allergic to all the opiates, and my doctor insisted that I take an opiate, and of course I got sick, and so I couldn't take them any longer. I even resorted, somebody brought me over a pot edible thing, and all it did was give me a harsh body stone. It didn't take away the pain, and I just felt really yucky. It was not fun, and for me, I didn't like it at all. I've had to go this basically cold turkey, which for anybody that's had one has said to me, really? How did you do that? It was not easy. It was just mind over matter, really. If you have an opportunity to discuss the pain management with your doctor before the surgery, I highly recommend it. If you have issues like I do, that's especially something that you should do. That's been a really, really tough thing for me to deal with. Emotionally, being in that kind of pain is almost to the point where you can't take it. So please do discuss that with your doctor. Another thing that I didn't know was that I wasn't going to be able to prepare any food. I could stand to lose a few pounds, but that's kind of a lousy way to do it. You can't cut anything. You can't use your surgical arm to do anything with. So I would have prepared a few things, maybe some soups and stews, and placed them in microwavable containers, and anything that you can kind of eat with one hand. I'm alone a lot. My husband works very long hours, and I don't have a lot of help, so I've had to do a lot of this by myself. And there's been days when I've sat home in tears and maybe just, scrounged up a yogurt. It's very demoralizing when you can't do what you used to be able to do. So make sure that you maybe got some frozen meals in the freezer, those kind of things, anything to make it a little bit so that you can be a bit more self-reliant, I suppose. You'll find that it'll just help with your mental health a little bit too. One of the things they didn't tell me at all was that I wasn't going to be able to drive for 4 to 6 weeks. I'm a business owner and I need to have mobility and get back and forth to my store. I was actually probably the most upset about that. I did see the doctor last week, and he said it's not that I can't drive, it's just that there could be liability issues. If I was ever to get into an accident, the other party could perhaps sue me, that sort of thing. So I drive short distances now. It really hurts to drive. You're using different muscles than you've used for the last couple of weeks. It's pretty much impossible to parallel park. And I do find when I get home, I'm very, very tired and in a lot of pain. So I'm really just kind of keeping it for little distances. And not that I don't recommend it, but be very careful because everything's awkward. It's hard to get on a seatbelt, hard to close the door. There's all kinds of issues, depending on which arm. I guess I'm lucky in that I'm a right-handed person and I had my surgery on my left, so I could at least close my door and put on my own seatbelt. But when I'm in the passenger side, my husband has to do up my seatbelt, so things to think about. This sling. So you'll see right now I have this neoprene sling on. It's horrible. I've actually developed anxiety from this thing because it's across your throat, and it wakes me up in the middle of the night, and I feel like I have a panic attack because I feel like I'm being strangled. It's horrible. I'm in Canada, and I guess we just don't have the ability to find things like they have in the U.S. I'm not sure why. One of my girlfriends had the same surgery and had this fancy thing that had a little pad in the front, and she said she didn't suffer from any of this strangling thing. I haven't been able to find anything. So if you can talk to your doctor beforehand about what kind of sling you might need, that might help. Maybe you can do a bit of research and perhaps order one in. Try and find one that's a natural fiber, if there are such things out there. Maybe cotton, because it's getting hot here where I am right now, and I'm so uncomfortable. I'm sweating like crazy, and it's itchy, and I'm worried the Velcro is actually going to blow out. I just had some more put on at one of the medical stores the other day. It's not holding up, and I have another 3 weeks to go. So getting a proper sling that does what it's supposed to do is a good thing. But you need to talk to your doctor to find out what kind of sling, because it's amazing the kind that you actually do need. It needs to be able to sort of strap you down so you have no range of movement. Oh man, I didn't realize how much I used my left arm. The first time I was able to have a shower, I thought, oh, how am I going to wash certain body parts? I didn't realize that I washed them with my left hand. So if you have an opportunity before your surgery, sort of strap down the arm that you're about to have surgery done on, and try and see what you would normally use that arm for, and then try and figure out how you're going to do it with your other hand. It's amazing all the things that you used to do, and now you have to figure out how to do again. Clothing. That has been the biggest challenge for me, I think, next to the whole pain, is what am I going to wear? I'm a plus size girl, and I don't have a lot of clothes that are really loose fitting. I mean, I don't wear anything tight, but they're just, I guess most of my clothes are, like a pull-on sort of shirt. And that doesn't work very well. In order to get dressed, you have to hang your surgical arm down in a sort of gravitational pull, and then pull the sleeve up over, and then up over your head, and then you have to put your good arm in. And it's really hard. The very first time that I changed, I think I actually went into shock because my whole body was so stressed out from it, and my poor husband was pulling and tugging, and it was a nightmare. You can see right now I'm sitting here in this ugly nightie, but I don't even care anymore because it's huge, it's comfortable, I can get it off and on by myself. So anything that you've got that's big and comfortable, and if you can get things that have buttons with big sleeves on them, short sleeves if it's hot out, anything that's easy. I don't recommend zippers so much. I had a hard time with zippers the first couple weeks. I can now do one up, but they weren't the best. So anything that's easy to get off and on. And if you are a little heavier and you've got a little bit of time before your surgery, I do recommend losing weight. I wish that I'd lost even like 20 pounds. It would have just made this a whole lot easier on me and on everything. I have found that my weight has actually been a bit of a barrier with this. So just things to think about. Itching. Oh my God. My entire body is itchy, mostly my torso. The doctor thinks it could be from the anesthesia, but I'm 3 weeks out, so I can't even imagine that. Some people say it's from the opiates, but I only took them for 2 days because I was so sick from them. So I don't have an actual rash or anything like that, but it's very common after surgery to suffer from itching, but mine is to the point where I'm going nuts. My husband's new job now is to scratch me all the time. It actually makes you kind of insane, like you don't know what to do with yourself. So I'm heading off to the pharmacy today to see if maybe I can get an antihistamine or something, because I'm almost at the point where I feel like I'm going to scratch myself raw. I don't know what's causing it, but you may suffer from some itching, so try and have some sort of system in place that you're going to use just in case. A recliner. Make sure that you've got, either, if you don't own a recliner, borrow one from your friend, or rent one, or buy one, or whatever, because you will not be able to lay down those first 10 days. That was impossible. I had to sort of recline myself back. We have a reclining couch, thank God. We have 2 of them. And yeah, we actually have the ones that look nice though. So just, you have to sort of recline yourself back with pillows and get yourself sort of comfy. And, I tried my best to get some sleep like that, but I thought, oh, I'm going to go lay down in bed. Yeah, that didn't happen. It hurts so much to lay down that first week that it's almost an impossible task. Once I finally got over that first week, I was able to sort of lie down a bit in my bed, but I had to prop up like 2 or 3 pillows behind me, and then I have a pillow under my arm and a pillow under my other arm, and it takes up the whole bed. So then my husband had to move into the spare bedroom. You forget to turn off the light after you've done all that, and then, oh, how do you get the covers pulled up on top of you, when you're all sort of comfy, and then you go, oh, I didn't pull up the covers. So it's a whole big system. So if you can kind of have some ideas about how you might do all this beforehand, have a couple practice runs, honestly, I swear, it will make your life a whole lot easier. Sleeping has been a really big challenge for me. I'm not a good sleeper. Every morning I'm up at 4 o'clock now, doesn't matter what time I go to bed. Between the itching and the being uncomfortable, I am 57. I have slept for 57 years on my right shoulder. I've always slept on the right side. Can't sleep like that anymore. It pulls down on your shoulder too much. So I've had to learn how to sleep on my back for the first time in my whole life, which has been kind of awful. So it's the whole sleeping thing, you need sleep to recuperate and to feel like yourself again. But it has been a big challenge. So whatever you can do, whatever you can set up beforehand will make it a whole lot easier. You know, get yourself some good fluffy pillows, things like that. I never thought about shoes. Um, I can't put on most of my shoes because you have to do them up with laces, and you can't do up laces when you've got one hand. And honestly, if you try to do it up, your shoulder just hurts so bad, so you just give up. So I've resorted to wearing flip-flops. Thankfully, it's almost May and it's nice and warm here in Vancouver. So I've been wearing flip-flops, and I have one pair of slip-ons that I wear. But I'm going to actually go out today and pretend I'm 3 and buy some Velcro runners because I want to go for a walk, but I don't have anything that I can wear. So, think about your shoe situation. And if you're a girl, think about the bra situation. How are you going to get a bra on? I've now figured out how to put it on my bed, do a cartwheel and backflip into it and get it done up. But oh my God, it is not easy trying to get on a bra. I had to buy one 2 sizes too big so I could turn it around. If you have one that you can do up from the front, that might help, but I still think it might be a little bit tough. If you're lucky enough to not have to wear one, yay for you. But I have to wear one so I feel comfortable when I'm out in the world. That has been a super big challenge. I actually had to call my daughter up a few times. Honey, can you do up my bra for me? I also told a couple of my staff members that was now part of their job description, was pulling down my pants so I could go to the bathroom and doing up my bra. Of course, it was a joke, but not really. Styling your hair. It makes you feel more like yourself when you look like yourself, and I don't look like myself at all. Styling your hair is almost impossible. Try and get some kind of a blow drying stand. I now sort of prop my blow dryer up on top of my pillow, or not my pillows, on top of my towels, and I brought a stool into the bathroom, and I kind of do a little jerry rig and a dance and all that sort of stuff. My husband, I called him Roberto for the first week because he was trying to style my hair with a blow dryer and a brush. That's hilarious watching a man do that, but it does help you feel more like yourself. So I have really big curly hair. You wouldn't know it right now because I just woke up, but it's been really a tough thing to deal with. So if you're lucky enough to have short hair, then I applaud you. But for me, it's been a real challenge. I want to look like myself, so I'm now getting a little bit better with it. Make sure that you've got lots of things to keep yourself amused. I've been watching TV for 3 weeks and I'm bored off my face. Like, I can't stand watching TV all day long, but I can't read. It pulls on my shoulder too much. It's really, really hard on it. So if you've got some things, if you've got some people that can come over and play Uno with you or whatever, just because the boredom starts to make you a bit cuckoo after a while. Again, if I'd known some of these things, I would have planned out, getting my grandkids over here, perhaps playing some Uno at nighttime would have been nice. The last thing is physio equipment. I just started physio on Friday, and although it's a bit of a torture treatment, I do know that it's for a reason, and I know it will help in the end. You'll need a big yoga ball. I actually just went to the dollar store and got a blow-up ball for $1.25. It's a whole lot cheaper. Works like a charm. You'll need a cane or a stick or something like that, and a pulley system of some sort for over top of your door. Although everybody might have a different kind of a setup from your physio, but those are some of the things that I needed. I'm lucky that I had a couple things around the house, but given that you can't get out and do anything on your own, it makes it really, really hard to do all this stuff after your surgery. So if you're about to have surgery, I really do recommend try and set yourself up so that you have a little bit easier go of it. Oh, and finally, make sure you get an ice pack. It will be your best friend. Use it a lot. Get 2, because when the other one melts, you'll need a fresh one. It helps numb the pain a lot. It really will become your best friend. So if you're about to have surgery, I wish you well. It's not an easy surgery to recover from, but they say that the benefits at the end will be well worth it. Try and prepare yourself a little bit, and I wish you good luck.